Hey people of the internet, it is Sam. I swear I'm not a robot, I just talk like it. So, I know I did one of these like 6 weeks ago, but I got bored and I don't know what to do with myself because life, so I'm gonna do another Q&A, so enjoy. Alright, first question. How long have you been making music? Okay, this is a very interesting question because I could give you a number of answers. How long have I been making original work? I would say age 3 to 4, because I would bang on the piano and I made some pretty rockin' rhythms, so I would say I was a pretty good musician from an early age. So, you know. And then at age 6, I was enrolled in piano lessons, which I've been doing ever since. And I think that was when I started playing around with like melodies because I actually knew music. I started writing really stupid songs, you know, like we all do. And I remember I wrote this one. You remember it?
Your first song.
Here, give me a sec.
You couldn't really do chords yet, but you could do like notes, and it was like this. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. I don't know the answer. It's like that.
So apparently that was my first song. So yeah, and then I kept doing, you know, like stupid stuff like that, playing around with rhythms, and then eventually chords when I learned chords. And then around age like 10, yeah, because I was 10 when I moved to Texas. I used to live in the Kansas City area. I remember I wrote 2 songs around that time. I wrote one song called Consumed. It was not the Consumed that is on my EP from this February, but yeah, that was a really cool song. I think that was when I started to realize, hey, like writing music, you know, like making my own music is kind of where I want to go, not just playing music, but also writing. I think that was kind of my first time doing that. And then I also wrote a really sappy song for my best friend at the time named Bella. If you're watching this, Bella, do you remember this song? I think it was called like, what was it called?
Thank you.
It was called Thank You?
Thank you for what
You've done. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
his biggest fan. I knew from age 6 on.
Arwen knew from an early age that I was meant for stardom. I'm just kidding. I'm totally
But
good.
really, thank you
I-
was the best you could come up with. Best lyric.
I know! That was such a bad song. If it were actually okay, I now would be tempted to actually like post that just to be funny. Because I still have the song somewhere probably, but because I recorded it. But I'm not going to because it was really bad. So yeah, and then now it gets to the actual good part. Around age 11 and 12, I started writing some more, you know, little songs, melodies, choruses, and I couldn't tell you about most of them. But there was one I ended up writing that stuck out to me, and that was my first song that I wrote that I ended up releasing, and that was, do any of you know it? If you've been following me for a while, you'll know the answer to this.
I know it.
What?
Now I'm out of the closet.
Out of the closet. I wrote that the day, or the night I should say, that I came out. And then I wrote another song like a month later. This was when I was still 12. And that was Fair. And both of those songs ended up being on my debut album last year. And so those two kind of sparked something for me, and I kept writing around the time I turned 13. And by that time, I knew for sure that I wanted to continue to produce my own music and eventually maybe craft it into something like what I planned to be an EP. And then I had way too many song ideas, and I didn't want to cut down to like 5, so I just did a full-length album. And ever since, I've just been writing music, producing, getting better, I hope. I hope getting better. And so yeah, that's kind of the story of how I started making music.
GarageBand too. You played around on that, just like little.
I know, yeah, GarageBand. I still use GarageBand, by the way. I get this question a lot. People ask me, what program do you use? What plugins do you use? I don't. I still use GarageBand, but there is a lot of hidden features in GarageBand. If you're a fellow producer who also produces with GarageBand, I trust that you also have found some of the amazing stuff that you can do with GarageBand with a little bit of work and experimenting. But moving on. Second question, why did you join KC? For those of you who know me personally, you know, well, I hope you know, you should know, that I'm in a teen acting troupe called the Kaleidoscope Company at my local community theater, the Permian Playhouse. And so, why did I join KC? Well, I started theater school at the Permian Playhouse as soon as I moved to Odessa. I stayed in it for a year and a half. I did 2 shows my 6th grade year. I moved my 5th grade year. I did 2 shows there my 6th grade year. And wait, no, actually, I'm remembering something. Okay, this is funny. Okay, it's not really funny, but it's funny in hindsight. I auditioned in 6th grade, December of my 6th grade year, after my first show at the Playhouse. Not my first show, but the first show at that theater, which was Schoolhouse Rock Live, which I ended up getting the lead role in, which really surprised me, but it was really fun. And so then right after, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna audition for this teen theater troupe, because like as soon as I was old enough, you're allowed to audition second semester of your 6th grade year. And I had met so many people in KC through that show, Schoolhouse Rock. And they were all amazing, so nice, so incredible. I'm still friends with pretty much all of them. And that was kind of my introduction to the people in KC. And I knew I wanted to audition. So here's the funny part. I auditioned, got in, then decided that there was too much on my plate that year and didn't go. I had a lot on my plate that second semester of that year, and I was not ready. So I ended up emailing them, I think, and saying, I'm gonna wait until a better time for me. Exactly a year later, after I had done 2 more shows at the Playhouse, I auditioned for a second time, got in again, and actually went that time, and I haven't stopped going, obviously. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made, because that teen theater troupe has done so much for me personally and as an actor. This is slightly unrelated, but the mentors of the company are kind of splitting up the group into a middle school division, a high school division, and then a third separate one called KC Elite, which is kind of how KC always supposed to be, but we started letting a lot more people in, so it's grown a lot. So I'm gonna be in the high school division for sure, but then KC Elite is something you have to audition for, and it's gonna be very high competition. And so the past 2 weeks and this next 4 weeks, I have been and will continue to be preparing for that. So I'm just letting you know, I'm gonna try my hardest to upload every week. Already has been hard, but I'm gonna try my best because I'm trying to balance that, because I have to have 2 monologues and a talent, and I'm preparing a song for that, and also making music. So yeah, and also I have a dual credit course this summer, so I'm trying to balance all that. So I'm sorry if I don't upload as much. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. Regardless of all of that, you didn't need to know all that. The answer to the question is, I guess I joined because I had already met a lot of the people in it, and it seemed so great, and I knew from pretty early on that theater was something that I wanted to do. Every time I would see people on stage, no matter if it was in a musical, if it was just like a singer performing, or even a comedian, I would be like, I want to be on that stage from age like 5. And so I did theater camps in my elementary school days, and then moved to Odessa and got into the Playhouse Theater School. Did 1 show my 5th grade year, did the shows, got the lead part in Schoolhouse Rock, and yeah, and so it just kind of progressed for me, I guess. And eventually I said, this is what I want to be a part of. This is the final event for me. This is what I want to be doing. So yeah, sorry I just talked a lot. I'm just gonna try to go through the next questions as quickly as possible and not talk about random stuff, which is what I've been doing. So I apologize. What's your favorite music video you've released? No. 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 You hate me. I already forgot who asked me this question, but if you're watching this, I want you to know that I hate you right now. I'm just kidding. I probably love you. I don't remember who you are, but I love you, but I don't actually hate you. But I hate you right now because that is the worst. For those of you who watch me regularly, you know that I have filmed, directed, edited, etc. 2 music videos over the course of this year, actually. One of them was Horizon, one of them was Again, which was just last month. And they're two very different videos, so it's very hard. It's very hard to judge because Horizon, everything was planned out. And it was all very artistic because I knew what I wanted to do with everything. I had a plan. I knew when I wanted to do this, where I wanted to do that, what shot I wanted for this, what I wanted to happen here. That was a huge process for me. Again, on the other hand, could not have been more different. I would say about 90% of those shots were completely improv. The only thing that I had really planned was just a couple of the elements that I wanted, like me sitting at the table, me by the tree, me running down the sidewalk. But all the rest of it, the only thing I had planned was the fact that I wanted it to be in my neighborhood. That's it. I just wanted it to be a neighborhood feel, and I wanted it all entirely in my neighborhood or in the backyard. They're just so... They're such different videos. Not only for the process, but also just in the way they are. Because Horizon is very artistic, very poetic. And then, again, it's just a bop. I don't know. My answer is I don't know. You can't make me choose. You can't make me choose! Gosh dang it. Next question is much easier to answer. What is your favorite movie? I've never, had a said favorite movie, but just some ones off the top of my head. Well, I grew up on DCOMs, Disney Channel original movies, so obviously, the Cheetah Girls series, Camp Rock, High School Musical, Lemonade Mouth. Hey, that's by far my favorite Disney Channel movie. So obviously, all of those were a part of my childhood, so I still like them today. Yes, I do still watch them today. I know, I'm a child. But other than that, the Hunger Games series, absolutely love the movies and the books. I'm trying to think. Love Simon. The people who didn't see it are saying it's overrated. And the people who did see it are saying that it was a cultural, social phenomenon. And I don't see that as a coincidence. The people who didn't see it are like, why is it such a big deal? It's just a guy who came out. And then the people who did see it are like, yes, this was such a good movie. So anyways, I could probably name a bunch more movies that I love if I thought more, but I just can't think of a whole lot off the top of my head. A lot of Disney movies. Mulan, Aladdin, Lion King, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, Beauty and the Beast, all the classics. Next question. Do you like eggs? I don't like eggs. Next question. How long does it take you to write a song? This exact question was on my last Q&A, so here's a clip of me answering that in my last Q&A. A day and a year. Sometimes songs can just develop over time in your mind. Because you'll think of melodies, and you'll think of bass lines, or you'll think of chord progressions, or you'll think of lyrics, and then they'll come together later, or you'll match this with that, and sometimes it takes a while to come together, because you have all these ideas, and you're not sure how they fit, if that makes sense. And then other times, you have an idea, and you write it, you just sit down and write it, so. What was your favorite part about the show you were just a part of? Okay, so this could mean two things. A couple weeks ago, I ended Aladdin Jr., which was our summer camp show, and I did this last summer too with Lion King. This year we did Aladdin. Next year we're doing Mulan! Well, and Shrek, but Mulan! I'm so excited. So if you are talking about Aladdin, which I was just in the tech crew for, like I was for Lion King, I guess my favorite part of it was either I love the show so much. I got to see it on Broadway, and it is just such an entertaining, huge, epic, just breathtaking show. It's just non-stop magic. It's incredible. So it was so cool that we got to put on a show that I know and love so much and hold in my heart. And B, just the fact that I think this is the most tech-heavy show that the Playhouse has done in my time living here. I think the last time we had a show this heavy on tech was In the Heights, and that was right before I moved, so I didn't get to be a part of that show, and I love In the Heights, so I'm mad about that. But seriously, there was so much tech, and I would know because I was on the tech crew, and it was insane. It was so insane. So much happening. Confetti cannons, dry ice, pyrotechnics, there was fire. What else? A lot of sets that had to come in and out, up and down, etc. And just so much going on. So it was really cool to have that going for the show. But you also could be talking about the last show that I was actually in was Peter Pan in May, and I got to play Captain Hook. And I guess my favorite part about being in that show is either A, being a villain, because if you're in theater, you have to agree with me that villains are the most fun roles. There's no objection. You get to be angsty, and you get to be mad, and you get to be the one that no one likes, getting to yell all the time, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun being all dark. That sounds so wrong, but it's true. It's so much fun. The other part of why I liked that show was our 2 combat scenes. We probably spent as much time choreographing, rehearsing, working, refining those 2 combat scenes as much as we did spending on the entire rest of that play. I swear. It's insane how much time. It's just like dancing. It's just like, think of it as in a musical. You spend just as much time on those dances and making sure everybody's synced and trusting each other as you do with all the rest of it, the singing and the speaking. Think of it like that. Like, it was so much time because A, you don't want anybody to get hurt, and B, you need to make it look as realistic as possible, like you actually are going for each other. And it was so much work. But in the end, looking at what we did, it was so much fun. Like that last performance, the hard work was over. We had already learned it, and it was just fun just getting to do it then because we had already learned it all. And so it was just so much fun just actually then getting into it, and that was such a fun show to be a part of in general. Next question. What did you think about 21 Pilots' new songs? Okay. Do I like their newer music? Their newest album, etc.? Yes, they're good. Did they meet my standards of what I thought it was gonna be after their older music? No. I'm about to get so much hate for this. Like, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put my phone on Do Not Disturb right now so it doesn't notify me every time I get a hate comment. I'm just gonna move on to the next question because I don't want to explain. But, okay, next question.
He's super picky about music.
I am. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I just didn't like it as much. Next question. Next question. I feel bad now. Would you ever collab with someone? Yes. Duh. Absolutely. Who wouldn't? If there's a single artist out there who says, no, I don't want to collab with someone, then they're not an artist. They're not a musician. Music isn't about competition and trying to get views and plays and streams versus other artists. It's about working together and creating a community. It's all about coming together and making something, creating something. It's not about the competition. And I hate when musicians say,
no, I like to just kind of stick to myself. I don't really like working with other artists because then it's like a competition, you know, I want my own music to get to the top.
That is bull crap. If you're not willing to work with other people to create art, you're not an artist. I've only collaborated once. I collaborated with my friend on my song from my debut album, Outside the Lines. And I have not collabed since then. I would love to. If you want to and you live in Odessa, please do contact me. I'm being serious. I love working with people, especially when it comes to music or another type of art. Yeah, next question. Describe your upcoming album in 5 words. This kind of slipped in my last Q&A, but honestly it doesn't matter that much because I feel like it's already kind of out there. I feel like it's already kind of implied, but I'm just gonna say it just so we're all on the same page because I feel like there's no more hiding this. I am working on another album. Don't act surprised. It's not like I just stopped making music, and it's not like from now on I'm just gonna keep doing like a couple of singles every now and then like I did with Again. No, that's not what a musician does. Yes, I'm gonna continue to make albums and or EPs for as long as I can. So yes, I am currently technically working on an album. So now, describe that album in 5 words. Okay, stop asking about new music. Next question is, when can we expect new music? I just told you to stop. Why do you want to know? Can you just trust that I'm working on music, that I'm spending time on it specifically to make it good? Because if I just rush songs, believe me, you will not like them. So all I'm gonna say is you can expect new music by the end of the year. Now you're probably all thinking like, oh what, he's gonna release like 1 more song at the end of this year? Like that's lame. No, I mean like, I have plans for the second half of this year. Thanks for watching, this happened last time too. Arwen has another question. Give me a sec.
What's your favorite kind of video to make?
My favorite kind of video to make? Oh, okay, that's actually a really good question. Music doesn't count, right? Obviously, that would be my answer if those counted as videos, but I don't count those as videos, because, yeah. I'm torn between covers and just getting to talk about stuff. That was a really bad way to word that. Like, let me give an example. Like my favorite songs video. Like, stuff like that, where I just get to talk about whatever it is I feel like talking about, which I haven't got to do a lot of those, so I plan on doing more of those, by the way. Either one of those two. I do love my comedy stuff. I do love my funny stuff, but that's just not, I guess, quite as fun to make as stuff where I just get to talk about whatever I want, and also when I get to cover other people's music, because that is so much fun, getting to do my own renditions of songs. Sorry this has been a really long video. I try to keep my answers brief, but it's really hard because I end up blabbering about, like, something random. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't.
I'm gonna do it.
Turning off the video.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
No.
I'm gonna do it. Bye. Over again. Gonna play it over and over again.